everyone, Dandelion Princess here, and welcome to I.M.P Headquarters, a brand new segment where I will talk about anything and everything to do with Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel. So I have already talked about Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel in one of my other segments, Spotlight. But to be honest, I've actually been looking for a new mainstay for the channel. Something besides Kingdom Hearts and Disney. And I was actually kind of leaning towards that being Lore Olympus, but then I got introduced to Helluva Boss, and it stuck to me like glue, so here we are. I know it's a pretty big departure from a lot of my other content, so I hope it's not like too jarring for some of you guys. To all my fellow sinners and hellborns though, I hope this is a very kind of welcomed surprise. Originally, I was going to have my first episode of this segment be about the new Helluva Boss episode that is coming out this month, but I kind of wanted to address this first, as there is a bunch of speculation as to where Hazbin Hotel is going to be streaming and when it's going to come out. Of course, this is just going to be my thoughts on the matter, and nothing is going to be official, but like I said, I did want to get this video out first because I definitely think we are going to get something later this month. This is something a lot of fans have speculated on because since Hazbin Hotel got picked up by A24, every month they have released a new redesign of one of the pilot characters. And just last month we got our last one, which was Cherry Bomb. So it stands to reason that this month, instead of getting a character design, we will get possibly a trailer or some kind of teaser to the show. Of course, this may not happen. For all I know, they may start showing designs of the other characters, such as Lucifer, or just any other characters that we haven't actually seen yet. But I do think we will end up getting a teaser trailer, as it wouldn't really make that much sense for them to just release all the characters so slowly like that. And that's normally something that shows don't really do. It made sense to show the characters from the pilot to show off their new and improved looks, and it was a really smart way to keep the hype going while the series is deep into production. Now, when talking about what kind of streaming service Hazbin is going to end up on, a lot of people have already put their 2 cents in on the matter, but with a lot of somewhat recent developments with some of these streaming services, I think it warrants being talked about. First off, a lot of people have been heavily leaning towards HBO Max being where Hazbin is going to go, or at least was going to go. One of the main reasons for this is just because Vivian follows HBO Max on Twitter and no other streaming services. Now, I definitely don't think that absolutely means that yes, that's where she had planned to have this series go, but I do think it's odd that it's only that streaming service and none of the others. If they were in talks of having Hazbin go there, it would make sense for her to follow HBO Max on social media. But if it was the case for Hazbin to end up there, I don't think it is anymore. Most of you probably know this by now, but for anyone who doesn't, HBO Max is basically going to be demolished. It is going to be partnered with Discovery, and it is basically going to become a Discovery Plus app. So HBO Max really isn't going to be a thing anymore. A lot of their content is just going to go to Discovery. This merger sucks for a bunch of reasons. The main one being what it has done to the animation department. Recently, HBO Max has cut so many animation projects from their catalog, from already existing shows like Infinity Train to shows that were still heavily in development and basically got canceled out of the gate. And Vivian did actually speak up on the matter. I have so much to say but can't yet. What I can say is I'm thankful to A24 for how Hazbin is being done, and I'm so saddened seeing the treatment of animated shows on so many platforms this year. Glad that Helva will remain in my custody forever, and lucky I can make it indie. I truly believe independent animation is a way to safely give people what they want and not be decided by a bigger business with different values. It's not easy having a thriving indie project, but it's possible. Support indie animation you love and help it gain bigger life. Now, this can definitely be taken a couple ways. I wouldn't read super much into it though, as it seems she's just talking about animation projects in general and not so much specifically HBO Max. The beginning is what kind of catches my eye though, with her saying, "I have so much to say, but can't yet," as this is probably referring to Hazbin. It's hard to say, but the main takeaway here is that she has been watching very intently of what's been going on with the industry. And specifically with the HBO Max at this point, even if it was planned to stream there, I don't think she would trust them with it anymore. The only reason I think it would release on HBO Max is if they were in some kind of contract that they couldn't really get out of. Netflix is another big streaming service that has some adult animated content, so Hazbin might end up going there. But again, this streaming service has been cutting a lot of animated projects and laying off a lot of animators. So generally, I think it's the same idea. We can 100% rule out Disney Plus. I'm not even really gonna touch on that, other than it would just be hilarious to see like parents' reactions if the show was on Disney Plus. Like, can you imagine the backlash that would happen? Like, I kind of want it to happen just to see that play out. Now, before I actually go into what I think the most likely actual streaming service would be, I do actually want to address YouTube really quick. Obviously, we all know Vivian has a very successful YouTube channel here, which is home to Helva Boss. I don't think it would be that crazy to imagine that she would still want to have Hazbin Hotel on her YouTube channel in some form. And seeing that she already has a large audience there, I don't think it would be that far-fetched. The thing is though, since it is being handled by A24, they would definitely want some stipulations on this, as the ad revenue would not be enough. Basically, if Hazbin does end up on her YouTube channel, I think there will be a paywall for it, but that is still a doable thing, since we know there are movies and shows that are pay to watch here on YouTube. So I don't think that that would be that crazy for them to do, especially with all the drama that has been happening with streaming services lately. Now, Amazon Prime, Paramount Plus, and you know what, just because I just remember it existed, Peacock, are all kind of in the same boat, I feel like. All three streaming services do have animation content and more mature content, so Hazbin could kind of work in either's favor. On top of that, all three, as far as I'm aware of, have had the least amount of drama associated with them. But for me, if Hazbin doesn't just end up on her YouTube channel, like I said, I do believe it would end up with Hulu. Hulu has a large array of adult animation, both original and otherwise. I will also say that Hulu is a bit bigger than the other three I mentioned. At least it's been around longer. It might not be as big and popular as something like Netflix, but I definitely think it would be a better fit for Hazbin than some of the other streaming services. But there you guys have it. Those are just my thoughts on where Hazbin will end up, but I really want to know what you guys think. What streaming service do you think Hazbin will end up on? And do you think all the nonsense that has been going on with HBO Max and Netflix has set it back at all? Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.